Hello and welcome. This is Africa in 10 minutes, where we bring to you trending business news from around the continent this week, courtesy Footprint to Africa. I'm Mike Mesikeno, and it's great to have you on the show. Let's take a look at the highlights for this week. Japanese firm Nanotechnology set to establish plant in Ghana. GDP grows by 5.4% in the second quarter in Ghana. Nigerian company Kenny O Cold Chain Logistics wins Africa's first scaling up nutrition pitch competition. Greenpeace calls for ban on single-use plastics in African countries. Rwanda hosts the world's first tantalum tracking blockchain to attract investors. And now the news in detail. Japanese nanotechnology company is to establish a plant in Ghana to produce a nanofiber for oil and gas and medical cleaning. The company is to partner with waste management companies to collect plastic waste generated as a raw production for the nanofiber. Nanofiber made from plastics is used for cleaning spillages in oil and gas and petroleum industries and for cleaning of hospitals as well as cultivation of crops. Chief Executive Officer and President of MTechX Incorporation, Hiroyoshi Sota, announced this in Accra when he led a delegation to pay a courtesy call to the CEO of Ghana Standards Authority, Professor Alex Dodo. As part of processes that will lead to the setting up of the factory, the GSA signed a memorandum of understanding with MTechX Incorporation to begin the production of nanofiber in the country. MTechX is currently seeking certification and testing of its products to begin commercial production, which is expected to start in March next year. Ghana's GDP, which is the total value of all goods and services produced within the second quarter of this year, grew by 5.4% according to provisional figures by Ghana Statistical Service. This compares with the 11.1% recorded for the same period last year. For the second quarter of this year, which is between April and June, the GDP, including oil, reached 71 billion cedis compared to the 62 billion cedis recorded in the same period last year. In the agricultural sector, the livestock subsector recorded the highest growth of 1.1%. It was followed by crops and fishing, which grew by 1 and 0.5% respectively. Within the industry sector, both mining and quarrying, as well as electricity subsectors, recorded increases in growth between April and June this year. Kenny O Cold Chain Logistics, a Nigerian business, has been crowned the winner of a competition involving some of the continent's most exciting enterprises working to improve access to nutritious foods. Kenny O Cold Chain Logistics from Kwara State won the first Africa edition of the Scaling Up Nutrition Pitch competition held at an event titled the Nutrition Africa Investor Forum in Nairobi, Kenya last week. Kenny O Cold Chain Logistics was established in 2014 to provide reliable cold chain solutions for Nigeria's food industry, thereby reducing post-harvest losses. Winning the pitch competition is so exciting. I'm delighted to see recognition for companies working to reduce post-harvest losses. This experience has been wonderful. The training has added value to my business, said the owner, Okwe Olarinwaju, as he collected his award. Greenpeace, a Netherlands-based non-governmental environment organization with offices in over 39 countries, has called for a ban on single-use plastics in African countries. The rally hopes to boost environmental conservation but poses a threat to many manufacturers in the plastics industry. According to the UN Environment Department, single-use plastics, often also referred to as disposable plastics, include items intended to be used only once before they are thrown away or recycled. These include grocery bags, food packaging, bottles, straws, containers, cups, and cutlery, among other items. Greenpeace's call comes at a time when over 90% of sampled salt brands globally were found to contain microplastics, small, barely visible pieces of plastics that enter and pollute the environment. The highest number of microplastics came from salt sourced in Asia, according to a new study co-designed by Kim Seong-kyu, professor at Incheon National University and Greenpeace. Chief Executive of Rwanda's Mines, Petroleum and Gas Board, Francis Gatare, said as a part of a push to attract investors seeking a conflict-free source of minerals, Rwanda will host the world's first blockchain project to track tantalum from the pit phase to the refinery. The project is a work of both Circular and Power Resources Group. Circular is a British startup specialized in blockchain which partnered with Power Resources Group, a mining firm that has mining and refining operations in Rwanda and Macedonia. Gatare said it was imperative for Rwanda to prove it can provide a conflict-free source of tantalum, a chemical element used in devices like mobile phones. He told writers that blockchain is one of the technologies that has demonstrated capabilities of providing a more efficient and effective way of delivering traceability for commodities. Rwanda, which is still recovering from the genocide of 1994, is seeking to harness its mineral wealth to boost its economy. The country is also looking to get rid of allegations that its resources are being blended with smuggled minerals that can be used to fuel conflict in neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo. In a bid to tap into the fast-paced expansion in education businesses, Investec Asset Management, a subsidiary of Investec, has bought a stake in Richfield Holdings, a firm that runs private colleges in South Africa. Rising income among Africa's vast population have created a pool of customers willing to pay for better schooling for their children. This development is driving a fast-paced expansion in education businesses. Investec Asset Management did not reveal the size of the stake or cost of the deal. J. Ramon Dalal, Richfield founder and chief executive officer, said the deal with Investec Asset Management will enable the firm to realize its expansion plans. Richfield, which was founded 28 years ago, has more than 40 campuses in South Africa. On that note, we come to the end of this week's episode of Africa in 10 Minutes. Let's take a recap of the stories. Japanese firm Nanotechnology set to establish plant in Ghana. GDP grows by 5.4% in the second quarter in Ghana. Nigerian company Kenny O Cold Chain Logistics wins Africa's first scaling up nutrition pitch competition. Greenpeace calls for ban on single-use plastics in African countries. Rwanda hosts the world's first tantalum tracking blockchain to attract investors. You can send in questions, make comments, and keep up with the news on our various social media channels. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, connect with us on LinkedIn, and follow us on Twitter. Visit www.footprint2Africa where these stories were called from. Footprint to Africa, business news made in Africa, by Africans, for Africa.